foundations from day one all the way to where we are today. It has always been our people. Of course, it's someone with business experience, the skill set, the mindset, the knowledge to lead people well. Somebody who I admire and respect their personal traits.
Yeah.
So it's a combination. We don't all lead people, but we all lead ourselves.
Yes.
And I think it's likely your leadership style of yourself will become your leadership style when you lead others. And for me, a combination of really strong professional skills, but someone I share their values, their behavioural skills. That's really important to me, and that to me makes a really good leader.
I have heard that you quite like Spice Girls. Oh, look.
Who's been talking?
Her face animates.
Who's been talking? No, I don't quite like them. I absolutely love them.
Do you?
Yes.
And we are back with another Making It Happen podcast by Sims. I'm having a lovely old time talking to all these teams, all these members of the Sims family, and I think I'm going to get a bit of a run for my money though with this next one, to be fair. Hello, Claire.
Hello, how are you?
I'm really well.
Good.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good. For those who are listening and watching today, Claire,
yes,
what is your role at Sims? I know you were wanting me to ask you that question.
I've been dying for someone to ask me that question.
You have, haven't you?
I'm the Chief Operating Officer at Sims International.
Yes.
Been here 25 years.
Wow.
And still love every day of it.
Oh, how lovely is that? 25 years.
I know, they can't get rid of me.
I mean, seriously, that's amazing though. That's amazing. 25 years. What were you doing? Listen, clearly you're not old enough, but what were you doing before you someone said primary school earlier, one of your colleagues, but what were you doing before you got here?
Will I get away with primary school?
You can say it
Probably
if you want.
not.
You can say what you like.
I was actually in retail.
Were you?
Yeah, so very, very different. Yeah. But a friend knew that Sims were looking for somebody and introduced me to the company, and here I am 25 years later.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So when you came in, what was your role when you started at Sims?
I was inputting purchase invoices.
Oh my goodness. How exciting is that you started off doing that and
it's
now?
Very important.
I agree.
Very important.
I agree. But you literally, that's it. You know the company from everything, the beginning.
Not quite the beginning.
Yeah.
So Sims was 5 years old when I joined.
Yes.
Or 5-6 years old.
Yeah.
But yeah, played various roles and worked up through, and now still love it every day.
That's great. So what's your favourite thing about the Sims community, as it were?
It's got to be our culture.
Yeah.
And
okay.
our amazing people that we work with, all of our colleagues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're an interesting character, Claire, I would say. I like you are. And when we first did this, and we sort of were speaking to a few of you, you were straight onto the phone to me. I'm like, Nicole, where's the questions? And I was like, I'm just sending them. I'm just sending them right now. I'm just sending them. But no, this is great because that attention to detail is important, isn't it? I imagine more so than ever in your role as well.
Yeah, well, it's who I am. Yeah. So, we're all made different ways. We all have different DNAs.
Absolutely.
But that attention to detail is something that I do use every day in my role. So it's nice to know it's been seen outside in.
I love it. I'm all for it. It's great. I love that. I think it's fabulous. And what else do you love about your role?
I think for me, I've been incredibly lucky. It's incredibly varied.
Okay.
So no 2 days are the same. So after the culture and the people and just working for a high performing team, I know that all the sort of various hats that I wear at Sims are very varied, and I just love that.
And is that something that inspires you as well, that you can be
Massively.
so, is it?
Massively. I think I'd get really bored just knowing the way I am and wanting to be involved in different areas of the business. I've been incredibly lucky on my Sims journey to do that. Yeah,
I mean, 25 years. You must have seen so many different... you must have seen the company grow dramatically and lots of different... But so many people have been here for such a long time.
We are very, very lucky.
That says a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think our average is now over 11 years. We've all been with the business. But great colleagues, past and present. We've grown both in terms of numbers, but just the journey we've all been on at Sims has been amazing.
Yeah. And what would you say that, when we talk about the journey, one of your favourite memories would be?
Oh, God, that's hard. Many, but Sims is an incredibly generous company. One especially sticks out. We were very lucky to be asked to celebrate our 20th anniversary in New York. So Sims took the whole company away for a weekend, and it was just amazing. Having fun with people that you work with in an amazing city, celebrating 20 years of Sims.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty big deal.
Big deal.
And definitely a favourite memory that's coming up.
Oh, is it? Am I repeating people?
No, you're not. I mean, listen, I think that if Rourke's listening and watching, he needs to think about getting another trip out to the Big Red Apple, because I've heard about it coming up on the screen, and what a moment that was. But no, that says a lot. It says such a lot about your company.
Well, one of our values is fun. And we believe in all of our values, but we play hard and work hard. Yeah.
And what other hobbies, or do you have any special talents or hobbies outside of Sims?
Absolutely no talents whatsoever.
I thought you were going to say absolutely. Absolutely no talents. I don't believe that at all. Tell me about some hobbies and I'll tell you if you've got any talents.
I think like most, last 2 years have been so odd in terms of socialising and getting out there. I love live music and I've really missed gigs and concerts.
Yeah.
So can't wait to get back out there and book things and them not be changed on us all. That would be really nice. Yeah.
So live music, you like a bit of live music. I mean, saying that about getting out, how did you find lockdown with Sims then for the last, because, that must have been, like you say, if it's difficult in our normal worlds, what was that like with work?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I was incredibly fortunate because I was a remote worker anyway.
Yeah.
So my daily work environment didn't change too much. But we were all, on the leadership team, we were all very conscious that wasn't the same for all of our colleagues.
Yeah.
And I guess what we tried to do, not just set remote workers up for success, a lot of people, no one really chose it, and overnight they were put into this remote working situation. But also we were very aware that their personal circumstances might have changed as well. We've got colleagues who are parents, colleagues who look after other dependents or do things in the community. That all changed as well. And for us, it was really important that we recognised that and supported the change to personal life as well as professional life.
Yeah.
And hopefully we've done that and continue to do so, because I think our working lives will change.
Yeah.
And I think trying to keep that culture where you've got remote workers or hybrid workers is a challenge for leaders, and that's something we've worked really hard on keeping.
And is that something, I mean, how do you see that as going forwards? It's going to be, because things have changed, haven't they?
Massively.
And if you weren't, I don't know how much remote working you guys did before lockdown, but
we had a few colleagues who were, but definitely the majority were office based. We had a great team in the warehouse who obviously couldn't be remote, so they were incredibly flexible with the way they worked, keeping them safe, splitting the teams. But for the rest of our colleagues, it was overnight suddenly remote. And working at that culture is certainly something I think we are all going to have to play a big part in moving forward, because it's such a big part of Sims anyway.
Yeah.
We are very conscious that we need to keep that strong culture.
And what other strategies do you look after? What other kind of...
Yeah, so within Sims, we have a number of strategies, and I'm responsible for 3 of them.
Oh, okay. So, I'm glad I asked that question. It's an important one.
Very important at Sims.
Yeah.
Our people strategy.
Yeah.
Our customer strategy, and our operational excellence. So looking after our people, making sure, we're all doing the right jobs, the right roles, that we understand our role at Sims. Customers, making sure that we're giving our customers the best outstanding experience that we can, and operationally making sure that our systems, our processes and procedures can support the business to be successful.
Wow. And what would you say makes a great leader then? Because it sounds, you're in the leadership team, and it has come up that you're great leaders.
Well, that's nice to hear. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, no. So I mean, but what would you say makes a good leader? What would be something that you certainly would stand out for you?
I think for me personally, it's probably twofold. Of course, it's someone with business experience, the skill set, the mindset, the knowledge to lead people well. But for me, it is also somebody who I admire and respect their personal traits.
Yeah.
So it's a combination. We don't all lead people, but we all lead ourselves.
Yes.
And I think it's likely your leadership style of yourself will become your leadership style when you lead others. And for me, a combination of really strong professional skills, but someone I share their values, their behavioural skills, that's really important to me. And that to me makes a really good leader.
It's very interesting. I'm learning a lot today. I like it. What would you say? Is there a single, like the most important thing that's happened? The single most important thing that's happened that's really meant that Sims has been the success it is today? I mean,
it's our people.
Is it?
Past and present. You know, foundations from day one all the way to where we are today. It has always been our people.
That's great to hear. And so creating a podcast series like this, obviously we're doing Meet the Team today, but creating that, what did you think about that?
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, thank God for that. I'd be in serious trouble if you didn't think it was a good idea.
No,
I think.
I think, you know, I think the more people who can meet us and understand us, it's got to be good news.
Absolutely. So I mean, what are you expecting to be sort of coming up today with other colleagues? What do you expect me to be hearing? Is there anything juicy I should be asking them, Claire?
Are you allowed to ask juicy questions these days?
I mean, you tell me.
Well, if you find anything out, if you could share it with me, that would be great. 'Cause I'm probably the last to know.
Oh, okay.
What am I expecting to hear? Our values are really important to us. It's a huge part of our culture.
Yeah.
So I'd like to maybe think values comes up.
Yes.
And how strong we are in those.
Yeah.
I think culture and values in our people are so important.
Okay, I like that. And I also really like the fact that everyone has very different. I mean, you said you didn't, you said you talked about live music. You said you haven't really got any hobbies or talents, but I have heard that you quite like the Spice Girls. Oh, look.
Who's been talking?
Her face animates.
Who's been talking? No, I don't quite like them. I absolutely love them.
Do you?
Yes.
Has that been how instrumental has that been as part of your role as CEO for Sims?
I've based myself on all 5 of them at different stages of their career. Yes, absolutely. You should see me on a Saturday night.
Or possibly later today.
Possibly later today.
Couldn't
possibly divulge.
And you also have there's a lot of animal lovers here.
Yes, there are.
Some dogs, some birds. Apparently.
Okay.
Yes.
Apparently.
I'm learning a lot. But you've got is it Stanley?
Gosh, people have been talking.
Yeah.
Yes, I've got Stanley. Yes,
Aww.
we love walking Stanley in the Worcestershire countryside, which is where we live, and he's a very large black Labrador.
Oh, how lovely!
He is lovely.
A large black Labrador that has to listen to a lot of Spice Girls.
If he's lucky, the Spice Girls play. If not, it's my husband's choice.
Oh, okay. Is that a good choice or a bit?
If you like metal and rock.
Wow! So there's a house full of metal and rock and the Spice Girls.
That's what I've brought to the relationship.
I mean, that is variety at its best,
very
isn't
eclectic.
it? Talk about diversity going on in a household with a giant black lab.
That's it.
What would you say to people that are listening and watching about Sims? If people are going to want to be a part of this or get in touch with it. What are your sort of core things that you look for in people coming to join you?
We can. We've taken people with all sorts of experience and background, but to us, the cultural fit comes first.
Yeah.
And for the person joining Sims as well.
Yeah.
They need to feel we're right for them, and we need to feel they're right for us.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Oh, well, I think you're great,
I'm
Claire.
doing something right.
It's lovely to meet you.
No, thank you for today. It's been really, really good.
No, well, I'm looking forward to listening to some Spice Girls later.
Oh, you see, I've got it in your mind now.
Okay, you have, honestly. Yeah. I'm not even going to come out with a cheesy line, but thank you. But no, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Best of luck. Not that you need it, but, just keep doing what you're doing, really.
Thank you for today.
Yeah, thank you.